Hello viewers, welcome to Corporani. Medicare cares backends inside. Today we need to develop here the remaining tables need to developing here. Today we need to cover here the chat tables, chat deletes, as well as the ratings and payment methods for the medicals. For this list out only showing purpose, need to maintain here the tables because need to here the designs wise. We need to need this here the list out only the payment method list. Now how to write down inside the MySQLs. First of all, now open here the localhost and to create for the first tables are the chat message. We need to need this here the chat conversations. We need to using here the text message as well as the sending here the files like here the image PDF like this. We need to needs here. That's why to managing here the both in single tables. Now need to create here the another new tables and to give this here the name chat message details, and we need to need this here the column as a 9 columns we need to needs. First one columns means the chat id you need to set here. If you manage here the deletes and read and another operation to perform, we need to need this here the this primary id we need to needs here. Then after we need to here the two parts. First of all the senders user id needs and receiver needed. Who is sent message and who is receive this message, like this need to need this here the specific id need to store here. Now we need to give this here the sender id and we need to by default set here the 0. Then we need to set here the receiver id. We need to set here the default value as a 0 and to remove this here the null value. By mistakes we need to select, that's why we need to remove here. Now we need here the message. We need to message columns. We need to set here the text columns, and by default we need to set here the blank and we need to set here. Yeah, and also need to set here the another types for the message types. Need to set here one types and need to give this here once means here the text message, and second means here the set here the file means image video like this, all types of two files inside to cover here. If you select here the two, set here the two types, that's going to if here the files time to write this portion inside the file path. We need to put if here message, then to put this here the message path. Like we need to configurations are the need here, and then after we need to another columns need to need this here the receiver dates. We need to also need here which time receive this message for this user receiver device. That's why I need to store here the receive date. Also need to cover here as well as need to like this. We need to write down here the read times. Also need to covers like this same, but we need to use this here the receiver date. Need to set here the data types as a date time. So need to set here. Then after need to give this here the current times not set here to set here the nulls. By default need to setting here the nulls because we need to receiver is not confirmed here the this message are received. That's why I need to by default need to set this here the receive as a nulls. Then after need to set here the status, and here many status need to use here. First of all need to give this here the column as a 1, and by default need to set here the 0 means here the senders. Need to write down here one by ones. 0 means here the send message. Second 1 means here the receive this message. 2 means view this message for the user read like here. 3 means here the sender are deleted this message. 4 means receiver delete this message. And 5 means all person both are the deleted this message. Here this chat is one to one, not group chat. That's why to requirement here the one to ones. That's why need to all deletes. If you both are the delete needs, then to all deletes like this. Toll says the status number 5. And now needs here the created dates. Need to set here the date time and current timestamp. Here set here the modify date time, and to set this here the current timestamp. This is the needs for these columns for the chat message details inside the covering here the one-to-one message sendings and receiving. Need these tables, and to now we need to save these tables, creating done. Now another tables need to managing here the delete message. we need to manage for the another tables, need to create here the new tables, go inside the database, and we need to set here the chat delete tables need to use here, and we need to need this here the four columns. First ones we need to did need to set for the delete, and we need to give this here the user which user are the deleted this message, and which persons your users are the delete all message. Need to covers here this date after the all messages are not showing for the clean all the message. That's why need to not hard delete, so need to soft delete, need to use this here the methods, because need to if you need here the retrieve, that's why need to always need to use this here the soft delete, not all this here the hard deletes. Receiver id need to set by default as a 0, like here, and created dates also needs years which time this deletes, you need to need this here the date times after not showing this all message. Like this you need to set here the logics, you need to clean all message. Like this you need to set here the scenario, and we need to set here the current timestamps like this, and to save these tables and to port the message then deletes all message, need to use this here the tables. And then after so need to another tables need to develop here, need to set here the user ratings for the doctors needs, patients are the given the ratings for the doctors, and also user give this ratings for the medical stores. That's why I need to need this here the rating tables details need to needs here. Now need to create here the another tables, rating tables. Now need to set here rating details, and we need to need this here the column as a 8 columns needs, need to create here. First of all need to give this here the rate id auto increment, so need to set primary key. Then after need to need this here who users are the set these rates, so need to give this here the user id, like here the settings, and we need to by default set here the 0, and we need to set here the rate user id which users given this here the rate for upon the rate, need to save here into possible here the doctor's rate, doctor's id as well as the medical shop id. We need to save here this column. By default we need to set here the 0, and then after we need to set here the rate, need to give this here the integers. By default need to set here the 5 stars, so need to setting here as configurations, need to set here the 2 rates, and then after need to need this here the review message for if you any comments for the related to this text need to put here, and by default need to set here the blank. Then after need to needs here the status columns, we need to set by default as a 1. Once means here the active this review rating, and 2 means delete this review. If you miss leading and text, then 2 possible to delete this here the message. That's why I need to manage this here the delete status. Now created dates and modified dates, remaining parts we need to put here. And current timestamp, and now save these tables, and these tables are the ratings done. Then after the last tables of this need this here only for the showing here the list for the medical shop inside the payment methods. More details need to credit card, cash on delivery, like this you need to showing like only the list, not inside the integrates any functionality, only for the display purpose need to use this here the tables. Now creating here the another tables, payment methods details tables, need to set here the name payment modes, and we need to need this here the columns as a 6 columns, so need to need here, like here, set here the pay mode id, and we need to set here the auto increment. We need to set here the user id which shops need to put here the user related id, we need to set here the medical shop id, and we need to give this here the method names, need to set here where cares, and to set this here the 100, and by default need to set here the blank. Then after need to set here the status, sorry about that, so need to set here enter rename status, set here 1 defaults once means here the active, 2 means delete, maybe we need to add one test status inactive, 3 means delete, and to save this column. Now adds here the another two columns, created date and modify date. Set here the date time. Current timestamp. Now need to save these years, and these tables are the creatings are the done. Here covers in this database designs need to throw with three videos. And now tomorrow need to start this here the API makings inside the Node.js Express frameworks with Socket.io. Need to integrations need to start here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.